Just like in any training class, there are still spots up front if you'd like to sit up front.
Yeah, but he's a front sitter in his
That's right, Mark has to sit in the front. All right, well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming. This is a great crowd to send Mark off on his retirement journey. For those of you that don't know, my name is Becky Chen, and I am the manager for safety and technical training. I've worked with Mark for well over 20 years now, 22 plus years. So we're excited for you, and we're happy to celebrate this day with you. Would you introduce who you brought along with you?
I sure will. So my name is Mark Medley, and there will be a test. So be sure to take notes, and that will not be multiple choice. That will be fill-in-the-blank answers. So we'll be looking for complete scores when we take a look. No, I did want to introduce my lovely wife, Carolyn Medley. Carolyn and I met 2 months after I started with Public Works in 1992. She's hung with me ever since, and if you know anything about me, you know that that is quite the burden. So I really appreciate, Carol, I really appreciate all your support every time, all the time, and I do appreciate that. So the other half, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark, and thanks for coming, Carolyn. We welcome you here. Also, just kind of a housekeeping note in the back. Shelly, wave your hand for me. Right next to Shelly is a big card. If you would all please be sure to sign that today so Mark has something to remember who was here today. And another note, we will have several speakers and presentations, but then we'll have an opportunity. I know many of you have some great stories about Mark, and we'd love for you to share them. But just know that Mark will speak last, so he will have the last word. So choose your words carefully. So Mark started, as he said, back in 1992. He started with Public Works. He started actually as a temporary employee, but very quickly moved into a regular safety specialist position. He's been in safety the entire time. Let me tell you how I first met Mark. I don't know if I remember the exact day that I met Mark, but I know that I met him pretty early on in my career because at that time we had a network of safety professionals that did get together quite frequently, and we had trainings together, and we had lots of activities. And one of the things that the corporate safety office did at the time was the vehicle safety rodeo. And so Mark at the time was at Public Works, and he was in charge of the safety rodeo at Public Works, and I was in charge of the safety rodeo at Austin Water, or the Water and Wastewater Department as we were known then. And so we had some friendly competition because each department would hold their own rodeo, and then the winners of that would go on to compete at the citywide rodeo. So Mark and I were some friendly competitors in that to see who could get the most participants. I believe that I won that competition. But that's one of the first things that Mark and I really interacted on was we shared a love for getting employees involved in safety and getting them to participate through that program, and it was a wonderful program. But it didn't take long for Mark to realize that water was the place to be, and he gave up the competition and decided to join the right team. He came over to Austin Water, and it was a great place to be. That time we had just formed our safety team. I can tell you Mark arrived at Austin Water around December 1996. I did not have to look that up at all, because Mark arrived when I was on maternity leave. So I can tell you exactly when Mark started. And he joined a team that we had at the time that was a good core group of starting our safety program off. So we kind of started the safety program. I do want to point out, so members of that safety team at that time include myself, Jerry Garcia, David Gaines, others that have since left us, but they're here today. And I'm so excited that Ken Johnson came back today. And BJ Durteen. Wait, BJ. Yeah. Because we were a really core group, and I consider that group of our safety team to be my family, and I really appreciate that team. So it's really nice that everybody's back here today. We've grown since then, and that's gotten even better. But Mark was there right from the start, right when we started our safety team. How many of you have taken a class from Mark? Everybody, right? Right? So, obviously when Mark came over, some of the things that he'd been doing at Public Works included things related to fleet safety and handling collisions. He naturally took that over here, and he also had done a lot of training. So he naturally became our training guru. So Mark has taught hundreds and hundreds of classes over the years and thousands of people. So I tried to pull some of the records to see if I could get some exact numbers, but of course our training records don't go back as far as Mark has been training. So I don't have a complete count, but I can tell you that he's taught well over 150 driving safety classes of several different versions. We've taught at least 3 different classes here in the utility, and Mark has taught all 3 of those. So he's taught the Smith systems, he's taught the defensive driving course, and he's taught the professional truck driving. And in the first aid CPR, again, we've taught many different courses over the years. So he's been teaching our first aid, he's teaching our combined first aid CPR class, he's taught the CPR, he's taught the heart saver CPR, and many versions of that. Well over 300 classes of first aid CPR type. And again, the grand total is high thousands of people that he's trained. So that's always been a great impact to the utility. Mark's always been an advocate for things that he's passionate about. And one of the things that I think is going to be a lasting impression from what Mark has done is the Employee Safety Association. Mark started that because it was something that he felt passionate about. And so today we have many members that are part of that. Each year since it started, we've had a safety conference that many of you participate in. We have well over 500, 600 employees attend that every year. And that all started as a little idea in Mark's head. And it was because he wanted to make sure that safety had a voice in things that were happening in the city, because there was a network of people that reported to the city manager that talked about issues at the time, and Mark wanted to make sure that safety had a voice. And so that happened because Mark went around, and if you were in his path, you got asked if you would sign a petition to become a part of this organization. And today we have a thriving organization that puts on a wonderful conference every year. A couple other things that you might not know that Mark has done over the years. One of the things that Mark is planning to do in his retirement is that he's planning to get into some e-learning things. So he's got a green screen and he's got some video cameras, and he's going to be putting together some safety educational materials in his retirement. And he started that quite a while ago, because here in the utility, he put together some materials. What did you call it? The U-Direct series or something? Right. So many years ago, Mark started to do some of that e-learning stuff that we're doing a lot more of now today. Mark also led the effort to get our kiosks in the utility. And if you that have been around long enough, you had seen some beautiful wooden cabinets that had computers in there, and they were intended so that people could access safety information 24/7, no matter where they are. So that's another one of those things that... Pre-internet. Yes, before the internet. So there was some interesting stuff there. Also an everyday thing that everybody is very comfortable with, knowing that we have AEDs in every one of our facilities, and Mark led that effort to make sure, not only here in the utility, but he also helped make sure that they were, now they're present in virtually every facility in the city. And of course, the Vehicle Safety Rodeo would not be the same without Mark's effort. Even after the city left that competition, we continued that here under his leadership. And probably the other thing that I wanted to mention is, you all know Mark as the trainer and the person that has led a lot of training efforts, but we have in the past few years really ramped up our efforts to train more employees in all of the safety classes, and that effort is not easy because we have 1,100 employees, and those classes do expire, and so people have to be trained and retrained. And so one of the things that Mark did probably back in 2005 or 6 was he recruited others to train as well, and he became an instructor developer, and he trained other instructors. And so we have many instructors in the room right now who were trained through Mark, and so I really appreciate that effort because that's allowed us to expand our opportunities. So with that, I think we'll go on to some presentations of some things, and I'll ask Sherry to come up and help me with that. So we have to start because now that you are officially retired, we have to give you the officially medal.
Now, it says retread.
Look at you to do the presentation of those things. Well, I'll start.
First of all, I get to present Mark with his retirement plaques from the city, and it's quite impressive because, one, I haven't had an employee retire from me yet. So this is my first time doing this, and it's quite impressive that the first one I get to do is Mark's, yeah, and it's for 29 years and 1 month. So that's quite impressive, Mark, that we talked about your start date, but to put it in terms of years and that many years and months, it's pretty amazing. So well done, good job.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
And of course, there's the official City of Austin retirement pin, which I see you're wearing yours. You probably have a number of these from over the years, but this is the retirement one.
This is the one you want right here. That's the one you want. Perfect.
Yeah, so, and of course, the coveted, and if you want, I'll take that back and put it on there.
Yep. Thank you.
You don't have to stand and hold everything the whole time.
Very good, very good.
So this is the coveted PIO bag that has lots of Austin water goodies in it.
The posh stuff. Very good, very good. So, okay, gifts and city employees. Now let's make sure that we walk the right line here, okay?
Not a city employee.
I'm not a city employee anymore? So first of all, I finally get that retreaded hat I've been looking forward to. Very good. Thank you very much. I'm not sure what, okay, I know what this is.
I don't know what's in there.
Oh, very good, very good. I did not have one of these, so very good. Very good. I think they got the size right, too. Extra old. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, do y'all want me to portray myself as an Austin Water employee after I'm retired, or how does that go? How does that go down? Thank you. It is. Very good, very good. Might be appropriate for Disneyland. Might be appropriate. What do we got here? Oh, cool. All right. I do need a new one of these. My Austin Police Department one's looking pretty old. Pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you.
Need a new coffee cup.
Yeah. Hey, I finally washed it. I washed all my DNA off that.
That's what you need.
Hey, that was my cup. I did. Not sure what this is. Oh, yeah. Okay. A rain gauge. What you really need during a drought, right? We still got to talk about that high water use bill that I got. All right, very good, very good. Got a sponge. Water drop. Well, a couple of them here, Carol. Very good. And we're always going to need these pens because my supply of pens will be diminished gratefully now that I'm retired. Very good, very good.
All right, so we have a few other presentations. David's going to do the next one. It's in the back.
Mark and I have worked together here at Austin Water for at least 21 years. And, you know, we've had a lot of interactions, a lot of meetings together, and a lot of projects that we've had opportunities to work on. And I just wanted to tell you that never has he ever given any doubt that the safety of the employees at this utility were his primary concern. So I just wanted to let you know that that's a very important quality in anyone on the team. Mark made a little bit of a special request for something. I'm glad he did because I would not have remembered this, but he asked for a flag that would be flown over the Capitol building in his honor as a retiree. And I think this is the coolest thing you can give anyone is a state flag of Texas. So there you go, Mark. And with that comes a certificate identifying the date that it was flown on, which was January 17th, in honor of Mark's retirement. And I think that's it, right? Yeah, okay. So, thank you very much, Mark. Thank you, David. Congratulations. Appreciate it. It means a lot. I wish you the very best in your retirement. Thank you. One thing about the flag, somebody knows how to fold this properly. This is military grade right here. I can appreciate that. Thank you so much. Maybe turn the mic over and let... Oh, more? Okay, bring it on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, you thought the pen is what I was waiting for. This is what I was waiting for.
Okay, he said he's got a spot for this all picked out. And so, here you go. Let's see what it says.
I think I know what it says, because
man.
David took the time to make sure that that we did schedule this properly. But of course, remember,
The little old sign maker didn't make a mistake?
right, here we go. Proof it real quick.
Okay.
Let's make a mess of this. Let you know, you're in Medley's training when you do it the Medley way. I do have stock in this. We have a 1,000-foot driveway with 10 ash trees in a row. Very beautiful site. And this will look great right there on Medley Way. Thank you so much, Jerry. Now, only a safety professional is authorized to create hazards in the workplace, okay?
For those of you that know me, I'm Edna Cartagena. I've worked with Mark probably for about a good 13 years or so now. And so I wrote it down because I will forget. So today, of course, you're retiring from Austin Water. We will miss you, and thank you for all that you have contributed to this department and, of course, for this team. We want to wish you well. We know that you're planning a trip to Disneyland, actually, in March, correct?
Yes.
Right. And so we wanted to give you something that will help you with your little trip. And I hope you enjoy it. This is from all of us in Safety and Technical Training. I'm, of course, Sherry.
You got me fast passes for Space Mountain?
Well, maybe, right? And so I hope you enjoy your newfound freedom, of course, and you deserve all the best.
Thank you, Edna.
And may you find it in your new adventures.
Thank you so much.
So here you go.
Thank you
Congratulations.
very much. Thank you,
You're
Edna.
welcome.
Now, Edna said 13 good years. That was not the receiving end of her services. She was very dedicated to making sure we are always supported well, so thank you very much. What else we got?
I got my back. So, this is for me personally. Some of you know that many years ago, my dad would make regular trips here to visit me in Austin. He's from New York, and he would come down for several weeks at a time, and he would often come with me. He would go shopping during the day, so he'd drive in with me, and then he'd go hang out at Target where all the cool people hang out during the day, and just come back and get me, whatever. He'd just hang out. And so sometimes, and he loved to work at the rodeo with us. So he would, grade the tests and do all that paperwork at the welcoming drivers in. So many of you do know, I had conversations with people where they would ask me about my dad. I'm like, how do you even know my dad? Well, because he would have those conversations with him at that event. But when he would come in, the very first thing, when we'd walk in the door, the very first thing he would say to me is, let me go see if Mark's in. And he would go to Mark's office because Mark had the coffee. And I don't drink coffee, so there's no coffee in my house. So he would come and go visit with Mark. And he'd get the paper from Ray Bousquet, and then he'd get his coffee from Mark. And so on the ride home, I'd always visit with my dad, and a lot of it would be about the conversations that he had with Mark. And they really had a good time talking about sports or whatever else was going on in the current events of the day. And so one of the things that my dad gave me something years ago that I won't really appreciate, but I know that you will. So I'm giving it to you. So it's kind of to you from me, but also from my dad.
Oh, cool.
So.
Thank you very much.
Oh, and I have to say too, I did put lots of that tissue paper in there because I remember at our holiday party, you had lots of, that one's not from him, but
okay.
You had lots of fun throwing the wrapping paper around.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, very cool. Yes. A 2005 UT National Championship t-shirt. Very cool. Very cool. And by the way, we talk politics, religion, less sports. We're opposed on all fronts. But he always had good conversation and bad coffee. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I did not have this one.
Now I'll open it up for anybody that would like to. Yeah, see it.
I want to give them my card.
See, I told you. Only safety professionals authorized to create hazards in the workplace.
Of course, it was me that did it. Act away.
Nearly averted.
Hey,
And there's a microphone stand right here.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Great.
this is just for me, Mark. I know I've only known you a short time, but I like your training, the way you did it and everything. You're an influence on me on certain things. I learned from you. And this is just a little something I want. You can probably use this when you go down to Disney or before, but this is personally from me, from like one soldier to another soldier. And
Appreciate
it's
it.
great knowing you.
Thank you so much, Robert. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Most of y'all probably don't know me. I'm Joe Hepkin. I work in engineering on the second floor here in Glen Bell. I started here in this building about 5-6 years ago, and when you first take one of Mark's classes, you see him as very straightforward and all business. And then I learned he's a KISS fan, and I'm a huge KISS fan. He's an even bigger KISS fan. And then we could talk about just about anything. And so he had a big KISS party about 2.5 years ago when KISS and Def Leppard played at Dakota. Had a really good time. There was a picture on the PowerPoint that was rotating earlier of the whole group. But Mark, I have an addition to your big KISS room. By the way, he's such a big KISS fan. He has his second dining room is dedicated to all KISS stuff, including KISS pinball. So here's if you need to plant a few pecan trees for your Gene Simmons Nutcracker.
Oh, wow. This will come in good use, for sure. For sure.
Thanks, Joe. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, I got one more thing. Is anybody in facilities management here today? If not, well, anyways, we can paint his walls baby blue now.
Joe has the distinction of being my kitty cat stork, and if you don't know what that means, he brought me my cat. So Tinkerbell actually comes from Joe's house, and we love Tinkerbell very much, very much. Well, who's brave enough? I taught all y'all how to public speak. Now, come on, get up.
Yeah. It's over now. It's over now. All right, I'm Brent Tully. I'm a pipeline coordinator here at DSM Glen Bell.
Earmuffs, kids.
Okay, so Mark, 13 years ago when I started, was the only instructor in safety that wouldn't let you sleep in his class.
And no one ever did.
Including Metters and a couple of the guys that are here now.
You got it.
On a personal note, Mark is a great Disney fan and helped me a couple of years ago walk through Disney World that I've already been to a couple of times, and it was an experience of a lifetime. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. On a personal note or on a professional note, Mark's dedication to safety is a foundation that I practice regularly, and I appreciate that also. And I think that Austin Water Utility is losing a big part of our safety with your retiring. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Brent. Well, Brent has the notoriety of being kind of like the pit bull for pipeline ops, make sure you get in your training, and Becky tried to promote me to that utility-wide, so we were kind of cut from the same mold, so thank you very much, Brent. You keep the utility honest.
There's a lot I could say, but I don't think I can say it because I will get emotional. This man has been my rock, and he's helped me through so many times. We've learned a lot from each other, and we started off not respecting each other very much.
Don't start that.
I know.
Don't start
I know. We were challenging each other's strengths and stuff, I guess, but then he became my right-hand person. And the Employee Safety Association would not be what it is without him. So,
thank you.
I can talk to you.
Joanne Cowan with Fleet has a very challenging job. She's the only safety person for a department of her size, a general funded department. If you ever need to learn how to beg, borrow, and steal, then you need to know Joanne, because she's put together a safety program from scratch with nothing. So I can certainly appreciate that.
You know I gotta say something.
Here's another one that kept the utility honest.
Yeah, wasn't easy all the time.
Oh yeah.
For those of you who don't know me, which is probably some of you newbies, my name's Ani Bohr. I retired 2015. I remember Mark, wow. Yeah, it's been a while. I remember when it wasn't cool to hang out with safety. Don't talk to that group. Yes. You got a job, you got to do something, don't let them know. Some of the things that we did back in the day, literally, if there's kids in the room, sorry, scared the shit out of me. But that's the way we were taught. Some of us had to break down those barriers and say, Mark, I really need you to come to the job site at this time. Because that's how everything started evolving. You start getting people involved. You start sending employees home every day safely. So Scott and Mark and the rest of you, you're welcome. For those of us who had to start some of these bridges on fire. Yeah. You were but alive. But again, Mark was always, Mark, Jerry, BJ, Ken, good to see you again, David. These guys, they were the black hole, you don't talk to them. But I never listened real good anyway, so what the hell. I would go to Mark, and if I had a problem, I'd plant the seed, and water it, and move on. He didn't need to know anything else because he was going to dig. If you know Mark, he's a pit bull. And, you know, I got to know him on a personal level. I didn't get invited to the KISS concert or anything. Just saying. You know, like some people in the room that'll rebut it. But, you know, you get to know someone, you talk fast pass, and he's like, well, you're going to Disney? I had to step out and take a phone call. When don't I, right? But I was looking at, and I was talking, and I was like, yeah, get with the admin, and I'm like, he's got Disney and KISS on his going away flyer. That's awesome. So if you know anything about Mark, you know how to appreciate life. And I want to say 29, dude, you're strong. You're strong too. Kudos to you.
Much stronger.
You need more of this than he does. Because we only had to deal with him when he didn't have some coffee, or, man, did that cup break when you washed it? I'm surprised.
Stored away in the truck.
But, you know, I just want to say, Mark, thank you for everything you've done.
Honey.
I've taken it to my new career, and I'm not the most liked supervisor right now because I'm like, y'all doing this shit wrong.
You give me a call anytime.
I will. I've already told him I'm calling you.
Ani has the distinction of having been personally involved in the relocation of my water meter. It was found to be installed illegally, and as a superintendent, she personally oversaw that job when they relocated it at the utilities expense. So I just wanted to make that note.
Hey, everybody.
Are you ready? All right.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Morrow. For all of you who don't know me, probably half the room doesn't know me. I've been working here at Austin Water for 23 years. Over half the time here, I had an adversarial relationship with safety. I think we all agree. Ani said it just fine earlier. We spent a lot of years worried about getting the work done, but not necessarily how safely we were doing it. Our idea was to be an employee to go in there, get the job done, make the customer happy, move on to the next one. At some point, somewhere between supervisor and superintendent, for me, the light clicked on, and I decided I needed to get on the same side of the fence with safety so we can make this workforce a lot safer. We've reduced a lot of injuries. The friendship that I had, there was a work friendship and another one that spawned outside of work with Mark, and after I became the certified CPR instructor, we kind of had a pretty good relationship with each other, and I'm just here to say that he's going to get a retirement gift from me, but I can't fit it all in this room right now, brother.
Cool.
All right?
Thank you so much.
All right, man, take care.
Well, Scott Morrow. Scott Morrow is a brave individual. He's the only division manager that I know of that's willing to step up front, take the leadership role, train his employees as you would expect them to use that training in the field. And I certainly appreciate the $3,000 worth of fireworks you brought over to my house. Remember, I got dirt on everyone.
Hey, but I brought a fire extinguisher, right?
Okay, very good, very good, very good. Time to close, okay. Jerry.
I'm not like the rest of these people. You don't even know who I am. I just came up here because I had enough to get myself up here. But I think you've all heard all these fancy people, all these big wigs, blah, blah, blah. Well, now you're going to hear the lower echelons, the workers' point of view about this guy here. I've been with the utility 9 years, thank the Lord. And when I started getting into classes, they say, hey, you got class today. I said, class for what? Well, you got safety training. I said, safety training for what? To learn how to dig with a shovel? I said, no, well, driver safety. Driver safety. I've been driving since I was 16. So what do I need to learn about driving for? Well, I'm not one to lie. I'm not one to hold anything. And as he was saying, I got dirt on everybody. Well, he's got a whole lot of dirt on me. It's probably in a couple of big bags back here in the back. Well, after about the 4th accident I got into, the last one I got into, I said, you know what, enough of this stuff. You guys keep giving me points on my license, I'm gonna lose my job. So the last one was pretty bad, but the good thing is that when you run over somebody in a city truck and there's no body, boy, I was saved from that one. So they call me in here and I go in front of this review group and I go in there and I tell them, I didn't see the guy. It was dark. Well, they didn't want to hear that. So, what do you mean you ran over somebody? I said, yeah, I was making a left-hand turn. I was going about 5 miles an hour and all of a sudden I hear pow! I look out my window and it's dark. I can barely see the light in the street post and there's no body. So I pull my truck over, I get out of the truck, and there's this old man sitting in the middle of the street going, oh, 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 oh. I jump out of my truck. I go over and I pick him up and I put him on the curb. I tell him, sir, I have the city, you understand? You understand? So he tells me, I forgive you. I forgive you. Oh, you, don't worry, don't worry. I said, well, sir, I have to call an ambulance, the police department. Oh, no, little Oriental guy. So I'm there, I'm sweating bullets. I'm walking back and forth to the truck, not even knowing what the heck to do, trying to remember some of the stuff they taught me in safety class. So I call my supervisor, he goes, well, you gotta call the police. So, okay. So I go up to the old man, I tell him, sir, I need for you to stay there. Are you okay? Because I'm going to have to call an ambulance. Oh, no ambulance. I forgive you. I forgive you. Well, apparently the old man was doing his nightly job and didn't see me cruising the corner and ran right into the truck. Well,
Jerry, if you'd have given that presentation during the collision review, don't you think you'd have gotten less points?
Well, they want to give me 6 points. All done and said. The old man gets up and leaves the crime scene. Cop shows up an hour and a half later and tells me, where's the guy you hit? So he didn't want to wait around for you guys. You guys took too long. So I said, well, I guess, like they say, dead men tell no tales. So I thought it was done. Well, it comes, fellows would like to speak to you. Oh, shoot, what the heck's going on now? We're going to have to put you in front of the review board. So I come out of the review board, they want to give me 6 points. I said, no way. No way. So I got all my paperwork together and got it all together. I said, no, I want to go downtown. So there we are, downtown.
That's an appeal, by the way.
Yeah, that's an appeal, just what he said. So I get up there and I said, you know what? I remember when I worked for this attorney back in California, and all I did was read legal books, and I learned how to speak in front of a judge. So I walked in, and they all looked at me like as if I was crazy. I walked straight up to the chalkboard, took an eraser. I said, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles Perez, and I'm going to be giving you a breakdown of what happened in my situation. And they looked at each other like, who the hell is this guy? I gave them a breakdown of what was happening. They said, can you wait outside? Because I don't think they knew what the heck I had said. But I drew them a diagram of the street, gave them all the details, and that was it. So I guess the end of the story is I got away and I only got 4 points instead of 6. But if it wouldn't have been for this man, I might have gotten more. Thank you very much.
Well, clearly you can see I had my work cut out for me. I can certainly appreciate the driving exposure that the that Pipeline faces, the fact that I still believe that if we're not taking care of the people that take care of the mission, then we're not going to be taking care of the mission. So I can certainly appreciate that. I hope you learned something. Okay.
All my points have dropped off. No more.
Very good. Very good.
You don't drive anymore, do you?
I don't drive anymore.
That's one way to reduce exposure. Safety by elimination. There you go.
Afternoon. My name is Mark Martinez. I've had the pleasure to work with Mark for probably about 15 years, and I just want to tell him a big thank you. He's been a big reason why I've been able to establish a safe division and a culture in my division, and Mark has always been there to call upon anytime I need guidance and support and give me everything I need to know in regards to his experience in helping me set up this vision that's, I would say, very successful right now. So thank you so much, Mark, for all your hard work. And
thank you.
Tell you we're going to miss you here.
All right.
And it's actually an honor to know you professionally and call you a friend. And I look forward to hanging out a lot more often now.
Certainly.
No excuses, all right?
No,
all right,
absolutely.
So I have a lot more stories to tell, but what happens at a KISS concert stays at a KISS concert. All right?
Yep, very good.
I miss you.
Very good. Well, Mark Martinez is another one of those division managers that walks the talk and delivers. But you should also know Mark played a role in me actually acquiring my KISS pinball machine. We picked it up on a 3rd-story Old Torf apartment, had to clear 3 stairwells coming down, had to break the head off the pinball machine in order to get it into his truck, but we successfully got it installed in my KISS room, and it's still there to this day, working 100%. Come get you some of this good stuff. Is that it? Anybody else going once?
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Because I trained you right.
You did. Okay, I got a secret. Well, first of all, my name is John Dorff. If you don't know me, today is a good day to do that. I have a secret that even Mark don't know. When I first met this dude,
let me write this down.
When I first met him, Mark scared me. He did. He scared me. I'm sitting in this class. I remember one class specifically. We were at the training center over at the airport.
LRC.
LRC.
Uh-huh.
And it was an all-day training. And I remember I'm sitting in one of Mark's class, and he got the mic like he was an attorney. And the word he was saying is, I surmise. Every word was, I surmise. I surmise to you.
Alternate facts.
And there was 2 guys sitting in the back of me. He goes, if he says that one more time, if he says it one more time, he said it 3 times. And I surmise to you, I submit to you. I'm like, man, this dude he's off the chain. He's off the chain. And so after a while, I started thinking, he's arrogant. I don't like arrogant people. I'm not taking his classes anymore. But the more I got to know Mark, the more I realized that he's not arrogant. He's just passionate about his work. And he got to me one day and said, John, I think you make a good presenter. No, I won't. You can do defensive driving. No, I can't. Yes, you can. So I sit there and I thought about it for a while, for years. And it came to me one day that my former supervisor, Cindy Steffen, agreed with Mark. And so I told Mark, yeah, I'll try this. I'll try to be a defensive driving instructor. Got in this class, and I remember the first class I taught, every time I make a mistake, he'd just jump right in there. Well, bring it home, John. Bring it home. Bring it home. I'm like, I am bringing it home. What else can I do? And he sit there and he was patient with me. And for everything that I've done, all the training that I've done, Mark's in the back of my mind. I submit to you. But his presence, it's like, if Mark can do this, I can try at least to be half of what he can do. And so thanks to you, I am now a defensive driving instructor,
And
trying
a
to
qualified one at that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And I'm sure Mickey Mouse will love to see you.
Well, I got you. Hold on. We got one test for John, okay? All right, in front of a live mic, you have to say prima facie.
Get out of the city.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Prima what?
Prima facie.
Prima facie.
Okay, try this one.
Prima facie.
Monotonous.
Monotonous prima facie.
Monotonous.
Mark, thank you, sir.
Kind of an inside joke. Kind of an inside joke. Anyone else? Well, it's certainly been an honor. I'm very humbled. It's been a good run. We see some folks that haven't been around for a while. Appreciate you being here, Ken. Joanne Natrajan with OSHA. Robbie Barrera with DPS. Very nice, very nice. I couldn't have done it without a good team and a good supervisor. What Becky said is true. I was at Public Works, looked over the fence. As a general funded department, I could see the difference between those departments that have and have not. I watched the utility grow its safety culture, staff it up, work the process. Everything that you've heard here today is not the alternate facts. It is the truth. If you're taking care of the people that take care of the mission, you're going to take care of the mission. And that starts with protecting those human resources that are most important. It's been my drive for my entire career. I knew if we showed a little bit of leadership, we took responsibility for allowing employees to feel comfortable with the safety process, trying to change that culture from safety cop to a safety assistance is important because when employees feel comfortable in their safety program, they're going to make the right decisions for the right reasons. And it's not because it's what Mark said. It's because inherently employees know that what I stood for is making sure everyone got home with 10 fingers and 10 toes, that they sought their 23 years eligibility to retirement, that everyone was always involved with open communications, total involvement, all these pillars of a total quality organization that I still talk about to this day. The opportunities that I've had to demonstrate leadership, the knowledge that I've gained, the knowledge that I've been able to pass on, all of this speaks directly to the very intangible virtues of public service. And Mark Ott, former city manager Mark Ott, was not my most favorite person in the world, but I could definitely tell that when we had critical conversations about safety and how management and employees got along in the workplace, that we would be a better organization for it. And that's just the essence of public service. We're not speaking to profits. We're not speaking to profit margins. You know, we don't have stockholders. What Mark Ott said is, all we have is that public goodwill. All I have is my reputation. Thank you. Time to party.